Hello, beautiful people of planet Earth and beyond. Welcome to another video on the channel of Ancient Ascension. My name is Paula, and today I want to talk about how we can get ourselves unstuck. You know, those moments in our life when we just feel stagnant, we feel uninspired, we don't feel motivated, we kind of feel like we're going through the same motions over and over again, but not having that inspiration and that appreciation for life. I mean, I feel like every human being has passed through those moments, including myself, and I know that those moments will come because I see those moments of when I feel stuck as a signal that something needs to change, or it's a signal to me that something deeper, a deeper rooted issue is trying to expose itself. And this issue can be fear of change, resistance, needing more rest even, or most oftentimes it is this signal that the chapter of my life that I have been living is coming to a natural closing, or it's coming to an end, or something different is wanting to present itself to me in life. And throughout this video, I'm going to share with you some tips that have seriously helped me in my life when I'm feeling those chapters in my life where I feel stuck and I'm not sure which direction to go, and I'm almost slipping into a state of depression, or I am in that state of depression. I'm going to share what helps me in the hopes that it can help some of you who are feeling stuck, but I would also love if some of you can comment your advice or your experiences on what has helped you the most to get unstuck, because I want us to support each other, and I want people to be able to read the comments and see other people's advices or experiences with how they get themselves out of those stuck moments in life. So that would be amazing, because I would love to read them too, but these are my tips for what has helped me the most. The number one thing that helps me the most when I'm in those moments of feeling stuck in my life is pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupt is basically, in another way to say it, is do something different, try something new. And through pattern interrupt, it's basically when we're shaking up the routine that we've been in, or we're shaking up, like how we've been living our lives. This can be as extreme as going to a retreat center with plant medicines, or maybe a meditation retreat, getting yourself out of where you've been living and how you've been living to meet new people, to have a fresh experience and learn some new perspectives. That is super powerful. Or it can even be like go to a new yoga studio, or go take an art class, or go to a dance class, or go camping in a place that you've never gone before, or go hike a mountain that you've never hiked before. And that is a really good practice when we're feeling stuck, to just one day say like, okay, I'm gonna go camp in this place for 2 or 3 nights to reset my nervous system, to reset my energy, and to let go of this feeling of feeling stuck. And that works wonders for me. I mean, when in doubt in my life, I travel. Like, I don't travel to expensive countries. I live in Ecuador now. That's where my travels have landed me. But I always go to a place where it's not going to cost me a ton of money, but I can spend some time there meeting new people, gaining a new perspective on different cultures. And travel is like one of the most healing things that we can do for ourselves, in my experience. But even if you don't have the opportunity to travel, or you live really far away from a place that you can camp, another really simple pattern interrupt is rearranging the furniture in your house, or redecorating your house, or painting a wall a different color. Or waking up at a different time, or adding something to your morning routine or to your night routine. The best pattern interrupts for me have been like, a big decision of like going to a retreat, or going to take a trip, or something like that, or trying a new yoga studio, or a new gym or something, trying to meet new people. But they don't have to be that extreme. We can reset the patterns in our house. We can rearrange our furniture, maybe learn a little bit about feng shui and try to, go by those rules, paint a wall, redecorate our house to bring some new, fresh energy into the space that we're living. Pattern interrupt is a powerful, powerful practice. Sometimes we just are living so far in our heads that we need some different life experiences to get us out of that stuck energy. The second one that really helps me is to always remind myself to take a few deep breaths, slow down, and find more presence in my daily tasks. Instead of just washing my dishes or making my bed or cleaning my house, I really try to breathe while I'm doing it, find and cultivate presence in my energy, and see it as an important act that I do each day. Because those small mundane tasks, although a lot of us complete them like with an energy of mindlessness, it's really empowering when you can cultivate mindfulness while you're washing the dishes and almost see it as an active meditation. When we're breathing deep, we're really present on the temperature of the water or the temperature of our skin and how we're feeling in that moment, and the act of washing our dishes to keep our space clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. There's always more awareness that we can cultivate in everything. And also in those moments of feeling stuck, like, don't diminish the act of taking a shower or making your bed. Those simple things are actually big things that we have to do each day to keep ourselves organized, to keep ourselves clean. So always remember that you're not doing nothing, even if you spend a day just taking a shower and resting. Don't diminish those actions that you do for yourself each day. I feel like sometimes when we feel really stuck, it's like this sense of overwhelm. And sometimes that overwhelm then makes us feel like we can't do anything, like it freezes us in that moment. And remember, sometimes the best thing we can do is just make the decision to take a shower, taking small actionable steps to get us out of that feeling of being stuck. And just remember to honor those small tasks that you do. They're not for nothing. It's part of being a human being. All those daily things that we do, brushing our teeth, eating food, like, we can always bring in more mindfulness into those actions, more presence. Presence is power. Presence allows us to root ourselves in the now instead of worrying or overthinking about the future or having our energy linger too far in the past. It's like, no, let's be present now. Now is the only thing we have, and it's the only thing we'll ever have. So why not enjoy the now, no matter what we're doing? The other tip that always really helps me is to seriously practice introspection. Introspection is a powerful tool. Everybody knows about journaling. Whether everyone actually does it or not, I'm not sure. But I always think when I'm in this moment of feeling stuck in my life, I always think about the snake. And I am pretty sure that snakes feel extremely stuck before they shed their snake skin. So for me, when I feel stuck, it's always this signal that I am in a process and I need to figure out the root cause of what's making me feel stuck. What I need to let go of, what is that skin that is trying to pull itself off of me, and what is trying to emerge? It's the same thing as a caterpillar morphing into a butterfly. We're always transforming, and I always see life as moments of deep expansion and moments of deep contraction. We're breathing every moment of the day, and I see the energies in our lives that same way. It's like we breathe energetically in our lives. We breathe and we, take an inhale. We have very expansive experiences in life. We feel inspired, we feel motivated, we feel like everything is coming together. And then a few months later, we might be in deep, deep contraction where we feel stuck and we're not sure where to go. We're not sure what's making us happy anymore. We're not sure, what to do. And so whenever I'm feeling stuck, I always recognize like, oh, I'm in a state of contraction. And when I'm in a state of contraction, for me, it's better to focus on rest, and it's better for me to focus my energy inward instead of when I'm expanding, I'm outward. I'm adding value to the world. I'm doing all these things. I feel inspired. I feel uplifted, but it's not always the case. It's not always the case. So when we're in that moment of feeling stuck, just remember, oh, I'm in a state of contraction. And what I try to do in those moments is to identify the root cause of what is making me feel so contracted, because there's always something. There's always something. And it could be fear, fear of change, fear of what's coming or what could possibly come. It can be overthinking, living so far in my head and, entering anxiety, entering depression because I'm projecting so far on what could happen instead of living in the present. It could be a lack of clarity. It could be resistance, so whatever it is, I just try to journal, in those moments and just answer the question, what is making me feel stuck? Why do I feel so stuck? And then if we can identify what that root cause is, if it's fear of change, or fear, I can say, what am I so afraid of? And be honest with myself as I journal and let all my fears get out onto the paper. Or what am I resisting? How can I make a change? What is weighing me down? When we give ourselves the opportunity to have these sacred moments of introspection, where we can put on some calming music, we can light a candle, we can just be with our journal in our bed or in our house, wherever, outside. And we can treat that as a sacred act of knowing ourselves. And we can be honest when we put the pen to paper. And I'm always amazed at what comes through. When I actually spend the time to journal, it's like all this stuff comes flooding out, like it's been waiting to come out. And then I can look at the page and say, wow, okay, now I can physically see what is the root thing of why I'm feeling stuck. And that's the beauty about journaling and bringing it into the physical, because once we have an awareness of the issue or of the deeper cause of why we're feeling stuck, once we have the awareness of it, that's when we can do something about it. If we don't have the awareness and it's all in our subconscious and we're not really seeing it for what it is, it's just going to continue. It can continue for years. People can feel stuck for years. And so when we give ourselves that permission to see it and have that awareness of it, then we can actually do something about it. Then we can journal even further about, what would my life look like without this fear? Or even if this fear happened to me, what's the worst that could happen? And just go deeper and deeper into our answers. It's such a beautiful practice. And the awareness of the deeper stuff allows us to shift it. It's the only way we can actually shift energies in our life is if we're aware of them. Okay? So practice introspection. It's a powerful, powerful practice for me, especially in those moments where I'm in a cocoon and I'm just I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't feel inspired by life. I feel like shit, basically. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. That's why I'm making this video. So hopefully some of these things can help y'all. And the other thing that I always do when I'm feeling that is I reach out to my family or my friends. We are not meant to do this life alone, and sometimes when we're in those moments of feeling stuck, we just want to, put on that happy face and tell everyone that we're doing fine, but really beneath the surface, we're not. I pray that each of you have, at least one or two close people in your life that you could call and say, like, this is what's going on. And I don't know how to move past it. Every time I feel those moments, I call my sister because she fully understands and she gives me a better perspective. And always reach out to the people in your life when you're feeling that stuckness, because someone might say, hey, I was feeling that too, and I went and did this thing, or, I bought this course, or this thing really helped me. It's like the people in our lives are in our lives for a reason, because they know us, they love us, and I always believe that, like, this universe puts people in our lives because they're here to help us. They're here to walk with us, and they're here to guide us through certain situations. So never also underestimate the power of reaching out to your community. Reach out to your community, because when I'm in those moments and I feel stuck and I'm like, I don't know, I call my sister and I feel way better. So, it's a super simple piece of advice, but it's so powerful, especially in those moments, like sometimes we just need to talk it out to someone that we know, someone that we trust, and so that they can listen and they can also provide their feedback and help us remember who we are and help us remember what we're capable of. So those are really like the main things that I always do when I'm feeling stuck in life. Remember that having moments of feeling stuck or uninspired or unmotivated by life is completely normal. What is not normal, though, is living in that energy for years and years and years. I don't suggest allowing yourself to do that. There are many things that you can do to get yourself unstuck, like these things that I said. And remember that when we feel stuck, oftentimes it's a signal that something needs to change, something needs to shift. And for me, always when I feel that, it's like, oh, it's time for me to step deeper into my soul's purpose. It's time for me to step deeper into what I'm capable of in this life. It's like our spirits in our hearts knows exactly that we are limitless, that we have high potential, that we can do anything that we want in our life. So in those moments, sometimes I feel like my spirit is like screaming, like, change this, like, get out of this routine, get out of this lifestyle, because what's out there is beyond your imagination. And that's what I've always seen time and time again. When I trust that and I do that crazy pattern interrupt, I land in places like this where I never would have imagined myself living in Ecuador, doing the work that I do. But here I am, and it feels so much more aligned than when I just had my massage business in the States and, was just living in that lifestyle. Like, even though that life gave me so much love and I felt super successful and I was so proud of myself, it wasn't actually fully aligned to what I'm here to do and what I'm capable of doing. So I trusted in that. I was feeling super stuck in the United States when I had my massage business and was teaching yoga classes. And, at first it didn't make sense. I was like, man, but this is my dream. I just created my dream. But something inside me is like, I feel stuck. And my spirit was telling me, like, this ain't it, like, you're destined for more. You're destined for something else. So trust me. And let go of that snake skin, let go of everything you think you know, and do that pattern interrupt and get yourself, into another place. Trust in the guidance of your heart, because it will always place you in the situations, in the communities, in the circumstances that are perfect for you. At least that's how it's always been for me. And remember, this is an important one, that sometimes our mental programming is the main thing that is sticking us. Our mental programming is the main thing that is making us feel stuck. That's an important one. A lot of times we can feel like prisoners of ourselves, prisoners in our own minds, prisoners of our own perspectives and energies. And that is an important thing to recognize, because if it's a mental programming, then we can do more introspection and learn about new perspectives of how we can view life or rewrite the narrative that we've been living our lives in. Because a lot of times people are living a life that makes them feel so stuck, that makes them feel like they're not capable, that makes them feel like this is all they're ever going to be. And if that's how you think, that is something that can be changed. Absolutely can be changed. So be aware of how you're perceiving yourself, how you're perceiving this life, how you're perceiving this reality, and maybe see if there's some areas there that you can rewire the way that you're thinking, the way that you're talking to yourself, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you view this reality, because that's huge. If we can clean up our mental programming and release the things that are not ours, because a lot of us have been born into situations of a very low vibrational energy, and we pick up programmings and ways of thinking, it's like our environment. And a lot of that stuff isn't ours. So it is also important to do the work to recognize what's yours, what's not, what's beneficial to you in your mind, in this computer between our two ears, and what's not beneficial. So that's a powerful one too, is to know that sometimes it's all in our head. Sometimes it's all in our head, that feeling of feeling stuck. And I just want to tell you that the more unsure I feel about my life and where I'm going and what's going to happen next, the more alive I feel. Okay? The more I feel like I am on my capital P path. I am walking my soul's purpose, because I don't feel like I'm supposed to know everything that's coming. I don't feel like I'm supposed to have a plan, everything perfectly laid out, because if I allow my mind to plan my future, oh my God, I'm selling myself so short. Instead of living in presence, trusting in the guidance of my heart, as scary as it feels sometimes, it feels like we're literally walking off the edge of a cliff, free falling. It always brings me more blessings, more opportunity, and it allows the magic to pour into my life. That is just a piece of advice that I'd like to share. And that all of us have the opportunity to reinvent or redirect our lives every day. So if we're feeling stuck in one way or another, I'm sorry to say, but we're choosing to feel stuck. We're choosing to not listen to that voice that's coming from the center of our chest saying, I'm trying to shed this snake skin, and I'm trying to walk in a new direction. I'm trying to live in a higher vibration, but we're choosing to stay stuck. And, if we're feeling extremely, extremely stuck, start with small actionable steps. Start with introspection. Start with a pattern interrupt. Start with reaching out to your friends and family. Ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, for guidance. I do it all the time. For the people in my life. Like, what should I do? This is how I'm feeling. I'm not sure what's next. Like, help me. And they always do. If we ask for help, we receive help. But if we never ask for help, we most likely won't receive it, especially if we're not aware of the help that is pouring into our lives from the unseen, from the unknown. So, I really do pray for you if you're someone who is feeling extremely stuck in your life. But remember that we are choosing our energy. We're choosing how we're living our lives. We're choosing the path that we're walking every single day. And you always have the power to choose something different. It's my fault if I feel stuck, and it's also my ability to get myself unstuck. It's like there's beauty in that. There's beauty in that responsibility. But I would seriously love to hear from other people's experiences and advice in the comments on how you get yourself unstuck in life, or how you view that process. You know, I see it as I need to shed that snake skin. I need to redirect my energy. I need to go through this process of contracting. You know, I think it's important to honor those processes of feeling stuck, you know, just as much as we honor those moments of feeling expansive and happy and elated. But like, we're human beings, we're not machines. And we're meant to ebb and flow like that. And in my personal life, I was not born to work like a machine. I was not born to work in the rat race. I was not born to live a super conventional life. I learned that from a very young age. And that's why I'm out here and, you know, doing my own thing all the time, because I know that my spirit is extremely unhappy with, you know, the 9 to 5, the conventional type living. I can't do it. I get depressed. I get sick. And I just feel like I'm going insane. And I truly believe that a lot of people here on this planet at this time also do not resonate with that kind of lifestyle. So if you've been living in that lifestyle for a long time and you're feeling stuck, or you've been feeling stuck for a long time, chances are you simply are not resonating with that way of life. Okay? We are human beings. We are sacred expressions of life. We are not machines. We are not robots. We are fluid. We ebb and flow. And we are an amazing composition of divine energy expressing ourselves through the form of consciousness and life. So I understand if a lot of people feel stuck living in this system. But remember that you don't have to live in the system. You don't have to live in it. It's like you're also choosing to live in it. So, and there's ways out. But if you don't see a clear way out, that's because the way out is through the space of your heart. It's through the space of listening to your eternal essence, your spirit, which is a pathway of unknowns, which is a pathway of trust, of intuition, of guidance from within. And I think that's why a lot of people don't take it, because it's scary. But what I can say from my experience is that it's worth it. So thank you so much for watching. And I do hope that some of these tips have helped some of you who are feeling stuck in life. Remember, it's going to pass. It's going to pass. You know, you're just contracting, and expansion is coming. And I would love, love, love to hear more advice on how other people have gotten themselves unstuck, or how they see those chapters of their life. Thank you so much for watching. All my love, many blessings.